Hello again. I'm recording this video quite late in the evening. Actually, it's after 11 o'clock, but I'm a night owl, so I've been wanting to do this for a while now, and I keep forgetting. This is going to be a curriculum haul for the Ice Age and Bering Strait history section of American history. So we're doing American history, and we're starting at the very beginning. So back whenever the people first came over from Europe, that sort of thing. So I'm going to start with, I got quite a few different things. I got picture books and chapter books and some activities and some games. I was very lucky to have funding to be able to get this amount of things. I always am so jealous looking at different hauls that people have and wishing I could get those sort of things, but I was able to this time, so I was very fortunate. So I'm going to start with the picture books. This one is called The Secret Cave, Discovering, I don't know how you pronounce this, it's French, Lascaux, something, I don't know how you pronounce it, but anyway, it's by Emily Arnold McCauley, and it's a picture book about a cave in France. So it's just beautiful. But it's a cave that was in France that was discovered, I guess, that had paintings in it from the Stone Age. So I haven't read this to my son yet, but I'm very excited to do so. It's got some nice drawings, but that's going to be part of what we read. And we already have started this particular unit. We're on our, let's see, we just did day 3 today, so tomorrow will be the 4th day of it. And this one is called The First Drawing by Cattlecop medalist Mordicai Gerstein. And this was one that I found as well. It didn't cost me $18. I got it off Amazon, so it was probably a bit cheaper than that. But it's about the first cave drawing as well. So we haven't read it yet either, but as you can see, it's got some really neat looking pictures in it. Make sure that this is showing up okay. I'm kind of zoomed in a bit far, but it kind of gives you the general idea anyway. Then today we read, or yesterday, sorry, we read this one called The First Dog, written and illustrated by Jan Brett. And this one I found on a blog. By the way, I will link everything below where I got it from. This one I found on a blog, which I will also link below, a quick little activity, a curriculum guide for using this book. So we've been doing that. And it's a really cute story. It's got beautiful drawings in it. And it's really cute. It's about a boy that finds a wolf, and the wolf sort of protects him and watches over him and begs for his food, and finally they become friends, and he becomes the first dog. And then there's getting into the chapter books. Of course, this one is a step into reading. It might be a little too easy for my son, but it's supposed to be for grades 2 to 3, and he's in 5th grade, so it'll definitely be pretty easy. But I liked the looks of it, and it covers, it's called Discovery in the Cave by Mark Dubowski and illustrated by Bryn Bernard. And it just looks like a fun one too. Show you a few pages here. And I think that this one as well is, yes, it's also about that cave in France. So technically not American history, but it's from the people that before they came over, as scientists think, to the United States. Well, to America. Then there's this one, The Ghosts of Petroglyph Canyon, and this is a pretty thick chapter book, so this will be right up his alley. It's by Christopher Cloud, and I'm anxious to see what it's all about too. There's no pictures or anything in that one. And then The Magic Tree House, this is number 7, Sunset of the Sabertooth. These are by Mary Pope Osborne, and if you've not heard of this series, it's really good. He was really into these a couple of years ago. It's a bit easy for him now, but I'm going to go ahead and have him read it anyway if he wants to. This will just be one he can read on his own in his own time if he wants, just because it takes place back in the Ice Age. So it's got a story, then it's got little black and white drawings and things throughout the book. And we have Lug, Dawn of the Ice Age, How One Small Boy Saved Our Big Dumb Species. It's by David Zeltser. So it looks really good. I've not read these, but I've seen them before, so I'm anxious to have him try this one out. Looks like it's got a few little sketches here and there. And then this one we started today. And this one I'm reading aloud to him. He loves to be read to. It's Boy of the Painted Cave by Justin Denzel. And it's about a boy that likes to paint. And he would much rather do that than hunt. But I guess it's very taboo, and there's only certain people of the clan that are allowed to have that privilege. So I'm anxious to see what turns out with that. And this one is just chapbook, no drawings. There is a little map in the front of the area, so you kind of get an idea of what's where. But we read the first chapter today, and it's written really well. We're liking it so far. All right, let's do some more fun things now. I got him this Toob by Safari Limited, or LTD. I'm not sure what that stands for. I could be wrong on that. But anyway, this is the Prehistoric Life Tube. And he begged and begged and begged and begged and begged to open this. So this one was open quite a bit, about a week before we actually started our unit. But it's got different prehistoric animals and cavemen and all kinds of fun things from prehistory. And they have, this company makes a lot of different tubes, so there's some more I want to order as well as we get further into American history, because there's some like for Jamestown, and there's Powhatan Indians, Revolutionary War, I think. There's several different ones. And then we already did these two. In fact, I have a video posted already. They're instant prehistoric sponges. So you drop these little capsules in water, and then they make little animals, or they're all in little sponge form. And these are dinosaurs, and then of course there's a prehistoric shark. And then on the inside it gives you details about each one. So these aren't all of them. There was 12 of them total. We got, I forget how many came in this pack. But anyway, this may be the only 6 that came in this pack. I don't remember for sure. But he really liked these. And next, we already have this, and of course, I sat it back in our bedroom in a window to grow, and I forgot to bring it out here. But it's a prehistoric fern. It's a little microterranium, and it gives you little seeds to grow. It's asparagus fern seeds. So I thought that would be fun. A little bit of a science project or nature study type thing to do. And then he got, today, we already did this too. This was in a box. It was a Mammoth Excavation Kit. So it had a big block of hardened like clay, I believe. And it came with these tools to excavate it. So you have a little, this looks like it got dulled pretty good. You have a little chisel and a hammer, and then of course you have the other side there, and then you have this knife that you can use to carve it out. And this is a little brush to brush away the things. I'm going to be doing, I took a bunch of pictures while he did this, and I'll be posting those on my blog, so I will link that as well. And then it made, inside were a bunch of different pieces to this mammoth. And they're movable parts, and obviously removable parts. I don't think we have that one quite in there tight enough. But it's pretty neat. And that's what it ended up with. And he had a lot of fun with that, and his dad ended up helping him because it was taking quite a while. Ended up taking them at least a good hour to get the whole thing done. So, but they had fun with it. And also today we looked at this. It's an Earth Science Kit of fossils. And it has a little book with information inside, and then it has these different fossils. It has a little magnifying glass you can use to look at them. So it's got things like a piece of coral, and it has a little crinoid stem and a sand dollar and a shark tooth and just some different things that were from prehistory. And this is something we're going to be using for the whole entire set, for the whole entire United States history curriculum. This is a set of trading cards, and there's, I believe, 300 of them. And it starts with, I've already went through and put these in order. I'm a little OCD about that, so I went through and put them in order. So it starts with the early Americans and the Bering land bridge, which we, of course, are studying. Clovis culture. Then this is a Folsom culture and Hopewellians. But they're really beautiful. They're nice and thick. They have, you can probably see if I do this, they have foil on them. They're by Upper Deck, so it's a very well-known and good quality company. And in the back of them has information about the particular card. So it starts with that, and it goes clear through to President Bush. Now, I thought it even had President Obama, but apparently it doesn't. So it just goes through 2001 President Bush. So I'm going to look and see if there's more cards, if they have, because it ends in 2001. So I'm just curious to see if there's anything more than that. But they're really nice cards. And you'll also see this in the video that we did with the prehistoric sponges. It's just a little placemat. I've used it for some of his projects, the messier ones like the sponges with the water and that sort of thing. But it's got Ice Age mammals of North America. So it's got the mastodon, saber-toothed cat, a camel. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that. Dire wolf, jaguar, just different prehistoric Ice Age animals. And then on the back is the same thing, but it can be colored in with dry erase markers. Or wet erase. Either one. Okay, let me push these books out of the way back here, so I have room for more. Alright. Then we have a couple sticker pads for activities. This one is a reusable sticker pad. It's got 5 different scenes with over 185 stickers. I got this on Rainbow Resource. Of course, again, I'll be making sure I put all the links. So this one has 5 different scenes. So we have an underwater scene. Let's make sure that you can see this. Okay, yeah. So this one has an underwater scene. And then it has all these prehistoric underwater animals. And then the next one, which he's already been playing with, is just sort of a kind of a deserty, swampy looking scene. Not sure what it is exactly, but it had those and all these other prehistoric dinosaurs and animals. And then there's a third one that's sort of almost like a rainforest or a forest and mountains, which comes with these dinosaurs. And then there's this one, a volcanic area. You can see the volcano there. It comes with more dinosaurs. And finally, an Ice Age one. Or at least a bit of a Ice Age. Looks like it's probably during the melting. And it has these type of animals. Looks like it's got some cavemen or the hunters and gatherers that would be coming across the Bering Strait. So, I'm assuming they're probably by era. I don't happen to know them off the top of my head. I'm learning as we go here, but we're not really focusing on dinosaur and prehistory eras. We're focusing on American history. So, this was just more for fun. You can play with. Oh, sure enough. Includes the Ice Age, Triassic, Jurassic, Cretaceous, and ocean scenes. And then this sticker book is more with humans in it, not just animals. But it's really cute. So it has information about, like this one page is about the Ice Age. And then here is a page to create your own Ice Age sticker scene. And the sticker sets are in the very back. Oh, the stickers came off. So it's really cute, and it's got all kinds of fun information. So that'll kind of go along with us in our North American and United States history. I got a lot. I think I probably went a little overboard for this part of American history, but it was helping me learn how to create a curriculum, and I've really been enjoying doing it. So for that, I am glad. And I'm hoping that we can have plenty of resources for everything. And there's so many free resources too. I also have some free resources, which I will talk about here at the end. So this is, we're going more into the non-fiction type books. Some of them are beautiful, like this one, Good Times Travel Agency, Adventures in the Ice Age, written by Linda Bailey and illustrated by Bill Slavin. And it's just got some fun information. You can read about different things. So this one starts out in modern times, and then they travel back to the Ice Age. So it's really neat, and it's just got all kinds of information, and it's almost a cartoony comic type format. So it looks a lot fun. And then I have this Usborne book, Who Were the First North Americans? So it starts out with who were the first North Americans? What did they look like? And it's got a lot of good information and different drawings and diagrams. Did they build towns? What were their houses like? How big was the tribe? And that sort of thing. It's a really, really nice book. I love Usborne books. And then there's the First Nations of North America, Subarctic Peoples. So this one, there's several books in this series, which I'm going to get more as we get into Native American history. And this one is about the Subarctic people. I got it simply because that's where people first came into, was up, across Alaska and into Canada, and then down into the North America. So I got it. It does say who were the first people in North America, so it does have a little bit of beginning information before it gets into the other Arctic cultures. Subarctic cultures, rather. So it's got a lot of nice info. I haven't read it yet, so I can't give you a review, but I will do that, of course, a review on all of these things after we're done with them. So, it's got some nice info. And then this was a book that I found. It was an old library book, Life in the Great Ice Age. So, and it's got several different two parts and several chapters. And it's probably one that we won't necessarily read the whole thing of, but he can read on his own if he wants, and we can look through. Maybe doing a project at the end, he could use it as a resource. But it's got some really pretty drawings and lots of information. So it's about the Ice Age. And then this is a book, is another one that I will be using throughout U.S. history. It's maps. But it's not just maps. It's got good information as well and some worksheets. So it's from before humans arrived to the late 1860s. So it's really neat. It's for grades 5 through 8 and up. So like the very beginning, there's an introduction. And then it goes into the Ice Age in North America, which is why I got it for this unit. And it's got like this here where they can fill out the information as they look at the maps. So it's kind of neat. And it's got several different, there's a Columbus one, settlements, New France, New Spain. So it looks really good. I haven't looked at it a whole lot yet, but I do really like it. And these are cute. I'm getting 2 more of these. They haven't come yet. They were on back order. But they're easy field guides to, this one's for rock art symbols of the Southwest. And I forget what the other 2 are that are coming, but it's to do with Indian writings. And this one's perfect because we live in the Southwest. So we're going to take it out and use it to explore Indian writings in the area and see if we can use it to decipher some of the things that people wrote. So that will be fun. This is technically for middle school, but I got it anyway because it looks really cool. It's the complete middle school study guide. Everything you need to ace American history in one big fat notebook. It says notes borrowed from the smartest kid in class and double checked by an award-winning teacher. So it's really cool because it's written in like handwriting form, and it's like somebody just wrote it with it, like it's actual notes from a class. And there's several other books in this series that I want to check out as well. But this one starts with prehistory, and the early 1600s is the first unit. So this will be a good resource too, and fun to just look at. I'm not going to have him read everything probably, but it'll be good for getting some extra information about different units. And then it does have, you know, check your knowledge, some little quizzes and stuff. So it's really cool. Then I have a visual dictionary of Native communities. So this will obviously continue into the Native American bit. But I got it because it starts out with kind of the beginning, I believe. I might be wrong on that. Nope, I'm going to cut this whole part out because this was actually to wait for Native American. Okay, then we have Stories on Stone. This is another book that I saw. It's an old library book, and I saw it on that same blog post as The First Dog. And so I wanted to find it too. So we're going to read through it for cave paintings and drawings. And this, I was able, and I cannot figure out where I found it now, but I was able to read the first chapter of this book online, and it gave me a lot of good information from a teaching standpoint for Native Americans. And the reason I'm including it in this unit is because it starts out with the ancient Indians and prehistory and the ones that came over from Asia. So this is not for him. This would be way too dense, too much information, but this is going to be a great resource. Like, it was easy to read too. Like, it looks like it's full of info, and it is, but it was really, really easy to read, or at least the first chapter was. So I imagine the rest of it will be. So I'm going to use this as a resource to help me learn and to know what I can teach him. So it's got a lot of maps in it, and then it's got some different drawings and diagrams and all sorts of things for Native American history. And then here's another one, Early Humans. So this one, of course, won't be just America, but I got it because it would also include people that came over. And of course, this is the DK Eyewitness books, which are awesome and very popular, and most of you have probably heard of them. They have all these different, I'm not going to zoom in on them, but they have got a ton in that series. But it starts out with, if you believe in evolution, we personally do not, but it does start out with talking about human or ape, and then it goes into prehistoric food, and then tool makers and flintworking and just all sorts of different things about prehistory and early humans. So that'll be really, and the pictures are really nice because they're, a lot of them, there's some drawings and paintings, but there's pictures of real life artifacts that they've put in here. So that's really cool. And then I have another DK Eyewitness book of North American Indians, which of course will work for my Native American area, but it does, I included this one because it starts with the peopling of the Americas. So it starts with people coming over. And then this book is another DK book, and it is gorgeous. It's history year by year. Now this is not just United States history. This is the whole entire world. But I got it because it's just gorgeous, and it's got this timeline, and it's got different information throughout the whole entire thing. There's a timeline that stretches the whole book, and you can see here, and it's just beautiful, and it's got all kinds of really good information. But it's going to have American history in it, and I wanted it for that reason. So it's a beautiful book. And then the last book is a more of a textbook. When Jordan was in, or when my son was in K-12, we used this book. They sent this book for his history class. So I was excited because I loved it. And whenever I took him out of K-12 to just do our own homeschooling curriculum, I wanted to find it for sure. So I found it on Amazon, and it's a history of us. It could be a history of us or a history of U.S. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be exactly, but either way, I think that's the point. It's supposed to be either one. And this first, there's 4 editions, 4 volumes, and this first one is Prehistory to 1800. So it starts out with the first Americans. And it's got very easy to read text. He enjoyed it with his history class. And there, beautiful photos, some drawings, maps. It's a very, very, very nice resource to have. Finally, are things that I found online. I will give you the links to find these as well. Obviously, these I cannot give to someone else. I assumed they were okay to print, if I was wrong on any of that. Hopefully I wasn't. This is a little game that I found called the Bering Land Bridge game. You start in Siberia and you work your way down to inside the United States. The present day United States. So that's going to be fun. I'll have to let you know how that goes. It's obviously nothing major. There is a color version that you can print. But I just did the black and white because we would just be playing it probably once anyway. And we have other games that we'll be playing. And then let's see. These were timelines that I printed for my use for developing American history curriculum. This was that first chapter of the Atlas of the North American Indians that I was talking about. I did find a few science things that had to do with... I was looking up things on the Bering Strait, and I found this on an Alaskan website. And they're based around, like, ice melting. So, like, the Ice Age, the end of the Ice Age, and that sort of thing. And I thought it would be fun to do for science. And there's 3 lessons that go in that. Then I found the earliest Americans crossing the land bridge. This was a free curriculum that I found and printed. It was going to be very useful to help with it. Bering Land Bridge and Migration Differentiated Instruction Lesson Plan. So that's another one on the Bering Land Bridge. It's got several different things. I'm not going to show you this one because you do have to buy it. But it includes the lesson plan, vocabulary sheets, note sheets, activity choice sheet, a diary activity, comic strip activity, Play-Doh activity, and a song activity. So it's got quite a few different things in it, which is awesome. This one as well I paid for. This is the Land Bridge Theory. I will link it as well below. I believe it was on not either teacherspayteachers.com or teachersnotebook.com. But it has a few pages that come with it. I purchased this one on Teachers Pay Teachers. It's the Native Americans, the first settlers of the Americas. So it does include the land bridge and the nomads and journey to the Americas. Another one I paid for. This is, I just printed off this blog post. It was the First Dog Ice Age activity. So I will link this below, but it's got a few, like 5 different activities that go along with this book. It's really fun. We're kind of adjusting it and adapting it to our own need. And then I thought this would be a fun activity. It's kind of silly, but it was under, I believe it was under something to do with the Ice Age. But anyway, it's homemade ice cream in a bag. So we're going to make homemade ice cream. And that should be fun. My son's always wanting to do things like that. And then this is a mound builder, so that's for later on. And then I believe, yeah, the rest of that's just extra stuff. So I will be sure to link everything in the comments below. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I will also be doing a blog post probably at some point to kind of describe everything and give links to everything as well. So I'm hoping to have that done before I actually post this so I can include that. I would imagine that I will probably be a week after videoing this before I get it posted, but we'll see. Anyway, I plan at the end to review everything that we used and to let you know what we thought of it that I didn't already go over. So that is all for now. Have a good evening. Bye.